All right, here we go. I guess I'm on because, boom, there I am. And so, therefore, I'm on. Ivey's here, too. Let's do the split screen. There it is. Look, it's just like magic. Hi, Ivey.
Oh, yeah. Streaming magic.
What happened to the bumper there? All of a sudden, boom, I'm on. No bumper, no graphic, no anything.
Keep you on your toes.
Yeah, I'll speak to Anthony after the show. Anyhow, Ivey, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm lovely. Thank you for asking. You asked me what I was looking at. I'm looking at Prop 50 in California. Looks like it's favored slightly to reject the redistricting commission, which would give the Democrats probably 5 more seats maybe in Congress. Texas is going to give us 5, but this whole Supreme Court case on race determining districts probably going to go against the Democrats. That could be 12 seats that the Republicans could pick up. Remarkable.
Wow, that is remarkable.
Yeah, so.
I mean, that is kind of a balancing back of power in California, though, right? That is more of a balancing act.
Well,
and between Texas and California.
It is, but it's, Texas did it by the law. California is going to reject their law with the commission and override it. They're asking the people of California to override the redistricting commission that's supposed to be independent. So,
of course.
Like we have in Michigan. We have one of those in Michigan, and we have a pretty even split in Michigan, 7-6, right? 7 Democrats, 6 Republicans, even split. We'll see.
You would think of the mass exodus that's happening in California, the politicians might want to have a little pause and think about, what they're doing there.
Well, they live in a bubble.
Companies, not only people, but companies too.
Big companies.
Yeah.
Tech companies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Elon Musk, I'm going to Texas. Of course he is. Of course, they hate him. They used to love him. Now they hate him, of course, because he no longer supports their radical, crazy ideas. And again, let me just say for the record, Bernie Sanders is a kook. Okay? All right,
so I actually pulled a bite from Bernie Sanders because I think Chuck Schumer might be in a little bit of, trouble here.
You think?
And yeah, well, he gets asked, and it's CNN. Actually, Anthony, let's just play this so Steve can hear it. The bite one.
How do you think this shutdown reflects on Chuck Schumer's leadership?
Well, I think it reflects more on Mike Johnson's leadership and President Trump's leadership. This is a leadership which said it's okay to give well, how do you feel? You tell me. Think it's a good idea to give $1 trillion in tax breaks to the richest people in the country and then make massive cuts to health care for working class people?
I think Chuck Schumer has voted for continuing resolutions 13 times in the last 4 years, and he has the opportunity to vote for one again, but he's refusing to come to the table.
Well, I think, look.
Gotcha.
Oh. So
he's 13 times during the Biden
nothing has really
administration.
Changed just to do the continuing resolution.
Look, Bernie's a communist.
Yeah.
Bernie's not even a Democrat. He's a communist. He's not even a member of the Democrat Party. Why anybody in that party listens to that kook is beyond me. I mean, we've got Democrat friends.
Well, yeah, but honestly, Steve, a lot of the Democratic Party has been moving in his direction.
Well, enough to control the party. Look, Chuck Schumer, you mentioned, he is afraid of AOC putting up a primary fight to steal his Senate seat. He wants that Senate seat more than he cares about Americans. That's a fact, and that's obvious.
Yeah, absolutely. And, even I believe it is also CNN that was reporting on how the polling is doing in New York. And Anthony, if you could play bite 2, we can listen to that.
Favorable among New York Democrats. Look at this difference. Look at this difference. The net favorable rating for Ocasio-Cortez among New York Democrats, plus 46 points. Compare that to Chuck Schumer, who's only at plus 16 points. She is running 30 points ahead of Chuck Schumer, the Democratic leader in the United States Senate, among her and his constituents here in the state of New York. My goodness gracious, what we are talking about is if Ocasio-Cortez decides, you know what, I don't want to run for president, I want to challenge Chuck Schumer in a 2028 Democratic primary for United States Senate, these numbers suggest that that primary challenge could be very, very real. And a lot of the numbers I'm seeing right now suggest she would actually be a favorite at this point if she, in fact, decides to take on Chuck Schumer. Again, this is a guy who was first elected to the United States Senate back in 1998, and now she's got a real chance to knock him off. What we're talking about is new days are here, especially for the very liberal part of the Democratic Party. It is their time to shine, at least if we're looking at the data.
30 points is
30 points.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was. I knew it was bad. I didn't know it was that bad.
Right, but it also tells you something about the state of New York, and also, It was interesting. I listened to an interview yesterday on Fox News with Mamdani, and he thinks everyone should get free housing and free health care and all of this.
And free bus passes.
Martha McCallum had asked him, how are you going to pay for that? Oh, and he brings up, well, we don't have to pay, Elon Musk trillions of dollars worth of, a tax incentive. So we could use that money to do this or that. And she's like, okay, but you're not really answering the question, because that's probably over time. I don't know if that's.
Well, here's what he's suggesting: a 2% increase on people that make more than $1 million in taxes, a 4.5% increase on business. You know how many people are going to be leaving New York if they pull this stunt? And first of all, he can't do that. By the way, it takes the.
Well, but it takes
the state legislature to do that.
He believes that that's what should happen, and many others also believe that. And then the industries leave, and even I think J.P. Morgan left and set up shop in Texas as well. It's not the entire company, but parts of the company. And companies, again, it's just like California. Your companies are leaving, and then therefore you have a bigger problem. Because you have all of these people who don't have anywhere to go work because you've made it a completely business unfriendly state, and they're just not going to put up with that. And I don't know.
Exactly.
It's just it's going to be another California in terms of how radical all the policies are. If they aren't already.
How much of a bubble these Democrats are in. Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer are from Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. And I believe that AOC is from the Bronx. They're all from little parts of New York. They are just a little tiny part of the world. They don't even know we exist out here. That's their problem. That's why the Democrats are failing. Anyhow, we'll keep an eye on it. Prop 50, I'll keep an eye on as well. Redistricting could come back to haunt the Democrats along with that Supreme Court case. Ivy, love you. I got to run.
I love you too, Steve.
All right.
Just know if AOC can be a senator, so could you, or so could I.
Oh. Well, there is that. Gruber for U.S. Senate. Pick one. I don't know, me or her. I'll be right back.